Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, a Monday Novice fight today on Langres. Yes, indeed, we shall be having a look at Langres. We shall be seeing in the north Angelfrost taking up arms for the 3rd Armoured Division in the name of the United States. Opposing Angelfrost shall be very lovely name. Particularly helped up with a few hiccups, but fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Berlichingen. We are seeing pioneers already sort of scooping up for a bit for this side. In fact, rather interesting enough, might be going for fuel there. Wehrmacht quarters sewed up. No additional pioneers following up there, and certainly no additional engineers right here. Also note the placement of the sort of unit structures right here, much closer to the edge of the base here. Not quite as much. I mean, coming here too. This won't actually matter much because all will be arriving at the edge behind your base, coming in there, which is going to be nice and spiffy. But I mean, until then, again, in coming here as one, at the edge of the base matters, really, because again, that's going to be time, your troops will be spending to get off. So again, it matters. And meanwhile, first unit out is a Volksgrenadier squad right here, moving out in the name of the Fatherland. Come on, Helmut, pick up the pace. Just like you pick up the beers back at the bar. Anyways, we are seeing, of course, points being secured right here, and it rather looks like, we are seeing going pretty aggressively for all the fuel points. He's ignoring all the munitions, but again, very keen on the fuel. So, clearly we are to expect he's, got some sort of fuel plan in mind. That's certainly interesting to note, with the Novice. So, of course, he's probably going to be taking pretty aggressively, probably towards the 3rd tier. Though it could be a bit, too, let's say, greedy and might be going for the 4th tier, which is not something, most actual practice Wehrmacht players would suggest, since it would actually put you at a bit of a disadvantage. And certainly could give the opponent much time to actually sort of hit back. Pioneers coming in by 5 times engineers right here. Going now for the munitions point right there. Fuel point secured right there. Shooting some additional units away from the Wehrmacht quarters. Pioneer still holding out here behind a wooden cart, but pulling back. Rifle moving in from Angelfrost. And the Pioneers are not doing anything again. Would be a good thing. Always, for example, get the tactical map and then sort of key up, or at least, get them away from their second unit. Now it's a Volksgrenadier squad again. Angelfrost has 2 rifleman squads on his own. Pioneers getting a bit forward off right there with the Volksgrenadiers moving in to assist. Other Volksgrenadiers moving towards the east, and Angelfrost is moving in to sort of harass the fuel point. Good. Volksgrenadiers getting caught out in the middle of the road. Keep an eye on your units. Attention, man, attention. You're not paying attention at all. That is not good. You always want to be paying attention to your troops. And usually stuff like, press space again to sort of give an idea where's the combat happening. In this case, he's not paying attention. Engineers are getting run off. That's a bit better. But again, he probably could have done better if he just stopped them right there and shot at the riflemen. Instead, now his Volksgrenadiers are getting surrounded by 2 riflemen squads and are suffering right here without really doing any damage to the riflemen. This is just poor execution and a waste of good men. Meanwhile, we are seeing further advancement here in the west. No victory point secured by either player. This is slightly more interesting. 3rd squad of riflemen joins in, and a 3rd squad of Volksgrenadiers as well. Riflemen now a bit out in the open, trying to take a point, though. This is let's go. There we go. Squad leader down. Another man down to the Volksgrenadiers, and the Volksgrenadiers have not suffered any damage as well. This is quickly turning ugly for Angelfrost, and there we go. Retreating in time. Wjsreb again he needs to focus his Volksgrenadiers. He needs to have them work together, otherwise they're not quite as strong. And the Pioneers are going to get run off. No attempt at mining so far. Munitions point secured up there. Riflemen suffering a bit, and already, Angelfrost is going for the machine gun emplacement. The placement of it is not necessarily the strongest one, in particular also this point at the match. If his opponent, of course, is going for some, like say, an armored car rush, he's going to be a bit in trouble.
Losing ground out there.
Plus, of course, it can be outflanked somewhat easily. And once it's the scout, of course, it's just about moving up here and behind it with a flamethrower. Well, you could even move up through here, I think, and then just sneak up on the side. Volksgrenadiers again. Let's just again, point out, taking points while under fire is a bad idea. Your troops are easier to hit, and again, they can't respond with quite the same amount of firepower, of course. In Covenant 2, you can just stand near the points, but even then, you don't want to be standing out in the bloody open. There's no cover here. No cover. Whereas, of course, these chaps, while not very many, do have cover. So again, I mean, cover matters, and rather seems like all Wjsreb, it's not really strong on sort of the tactical aspects. But let's, return to the fight. Let's see how this goes. Ravni is suffering a bit. Volksgunners have the cover advantage. Also note here, and again, that's another, lesson in cover. You need to be on the right side. Cover is directional, so again, just in those cases where, what should I do with cover? Always imagine, where would I rather be standing on the side of the cover? If you want to be on the side where, the bullets are going to have to pass through something else first, then you're doing it right. So there you go. Mines going down right there. Nice, and a flamethrower. Going to suddenly deny the house to the crowd. Weapons supply, going up. And rifle getting run off there by the Volksgrenadiers. Again, cover matters. Volksgrenadiers won that one. Engineers coming a bit under fire, and we are seeing what looks like 3 squads of Volksgrenadiers, no further units on the way, and we are seeing nothing else there as well. Angelfrost is suffering a bit as well, not really too strong on the cover either. Only 3 rifleman squads. Oh dear, this could be to the advantage of the Wehrmacht player again. He's not really, getting the full aggression out, in particular also again, because he went for that machine gun placement. That's not really going to do much, and in fact the Wehrmacht player could even just, go up here and cut that off from the American. I mean, it's not really looking like a strong start for the American. In fact, it's now getting rather thinned up, because first he builds that, then he builds a supply, and now a Trier center. There's not really much of an idea. Where does he want to go? What does he want to achieve? Does he want armored cars? Because again, don't bother with that. Don't bother with that. In particular, when you have only 3 rifleman squads. Volksgunners again, out in the open, without support, not good. 17th is definitely not doing too well here. And he needs to retreat. Rückzug, Männer. Bit too slow on retreating. Other Volksgunners there again, not coordinating, work out in teams. In Gruppen, Männer. Pushing up a bit in the center right there. And again, floating a bit of resources. What is Wjsreb doing? Trying to fight for that fuel point, sending in troops piecemeal, which again is not good. Tactically, I'm not sure what's going on there. He's just too weak. He's constantly making mistakes which he shouldn't be making. Again, sending in Volksgunners on their own, not really using cover. And oh, the Angelfrost definitely should have retreated right there.
We're losing a fuel sector.
Not sure why those Volksgunners are waiting right there. Now moving ahead. Opening up a bit on the Americans, laying down mines. Be careful, your troops are also easy targets when building and laying down mines. Very important thing to remember. There we go, 1 easy drop. More riflemen moving in. No replacement rifleman for Angelfrost. Lots of flamethrower engineers, but again, not a lot of infantry or wall, and not really a lot of aggression versus the Wehrmacht player, who's now going for the Kampfkraft center. Quite interesting enough. And again, he's only got 3 Volksgunners. He must be floating an awful lot of resources, which is not really good. You don't want to be floating, a ton of resources. And looks like Angelfrost might be losing another unit. Oh, Angelfrost. Unit preservation. In fact, it seems like both players have a bit of issue with that. No idea what he's doing up here. He's not reinforcing either. In fact, he's also floating resources now. And again, if you look at Wjsreb, he's floating even more manpower. Again, he's only got 3 Volksgrenadier squads. And he's going straight for the Sturm Army, of course, but he's not even using it. I mean, don't build a Kampfkraft center if you're not going to use it. I mean, really. Rather sloppy handling of things from both players. But wait, there we go. A tank depot going up. Pretty aggressive, and he's certainly got 1 fuel pump. But again, why then this? Again, it's not really doing much at all. And, ooh, nice harassment, but, at this point it's already being helped by the Wehrmacht. Good approach here. A few sandbags, and let's just pause again. A few sandbags here could make this a much better prospect for the Wehrmacht, since they'll be in heavy cover and there'll only be 2 riflemen firing here. Let's return to the fight. Point being reconnected. Volksgunners again being engaged. Again, they're not working together. They're split up too much. They are not units that really operate on their own, and rather seems, for the Wehrmacht player to be a bit of an issue. And again, they're going to be losing right here, in particular because, again, a bit too close and not really good cover. Mine hit right there by the Pioneers. Volksgunners moving up. Still no attempt at laying down some sandbags. Again, could make a difference. It's certainly an advantage the Volksgrenadiers have, but few actually use. Riflemen retreating, another squad trained.
Losing ground
Third
out
Armoured
there.
so far not doing well, but might soon get some armor. What shall be going on here? No storm armor as of yet, though he should be pretty close. Or we'll have to see what he's up to soon. Tank depot, and we are seeing a tank destroyer out. Not entirely sure why he's going for a tank destroyer, but then again, it might be what he's scoring. He got resources for, and of course, if he's worrying about his opponent going for the storm armor, you know, a tank destroyer is going to be stopping any armored cars coming out right there, of course, right nicely. Volksgrenadiers find themselves a bit run off. 3 command points floating, but not a single doctrine chosen for Angelfrost. Again, not good at all. Not good at all. Also, fun fact, I might have figured out what doctrines, how they will actually work in Company of Heroes 2. It will sort of, well, you choose them before the battle, but it goes a bit further than that. It actually sort of dictates what troops you can then build. And for example, I mean, to use the Company of Heroes 1 example, it would mean, you know, you can't actually just call in a Tiger. You would need a Panzer command to then call in the Tiger if you had the doctrine for it. Plus, of course, you'd have to pay full resources and not just manpowers. I mean, that would actually be some pretty significant differences. Volksgrenadiers still got running up to the riflemen again. Do not run up to riflemen. Do not run up to them close range unless you've got MP40s. These chaps definitely do not have. So poor handling right there. Tank destroyer moving in. And yeah, we're seeing a Panzer command. And this is not really what most players would recommend, because again, you know, you're going to be leaving yourself much too open. And the only thing that allowed for this was, in fact, that Angelfrost was way too passive again, you know, locking down himself, not being aggressive enough. Had he pushed hard enough, he could have locked the Wehrmacht player within his base. But I suppose, on the bright side, at least he's got a tank destroyer to sort of at least somewhat help with anything that's going to come out of it. But there's another problem. And this is quite vital. He doesn't have the fuel to use it. He's got a ton of manpower, but he hasn't even bothered laying down at least one, you know, observation post to at least help with the fuel. And he's got 2 command points himself. He's got plenty of munitions. Will he be panzerfausting? Yes, indeed. Doing a bit of damage right there to the Hellcat. More damage to the Hellcat. 50 caliber mounted on it. Opening up on those Wehrmacht people. Gunning away. Killing 3 already. In fact, Volksgrenadiers need to retreat. And we are seeing some Ritterkreuz, but again, that's not going to help against this major issue, which is, you know, Hellcats. And a lot of well, the rifleman can help with, but, you know, not the Hellcat. He needs some panzers or some troops with Panzerdex, but again, he doesn't have access to that. Although, of course, he could just go blitzkrieg, call in some stormtroopers. I mean, and here's another mistake he's sort of making. I mean, I like his spirit. He's not trying the usual thing, which is just, you know, lock down the map with MGs. He's, you know, trying to be aggressive and delay the opponent through that, but he doesn't quite have the punch, and he should have gone blitzkrieg. Usually, any player who would try even something similar to this would actually go blitzkrieg and then get some stormtroopers with Panzerschrecks. That's not quite happening. Instead, we are now seeing the Ritterkreuz on the field to join in with the Volksgrenadiers. And of course, the Pioneers right here got stopped by the 30 caliber because he's finally reacting to this. Munitions being taken away. Not good, not good at all. 17th SS needs to counter-attack. Of course, the fun thing with the 17th SS was they never really got their full training. They only had a few months. So, I mean, they still had more training than most Volksgrenadiers and such. But, I mean, by the time of Normandy and when the Americans were attacking, they did not have that full amount of training they were supposed to have. Nice counterattack here. Although he is blobbing up a bit, that is not good. But we are seeing Angelfrost retreating his riflemen. This is simply too much firepower, particularly with the Knight's Cross. It's the elite of the 17th. Leading the way with assault rifles, making things a bit easier for the Volksgrenadiers following up. Hellcat, where are you? Kitty Cat. Advancing up here, taking some points back with the Volksgrenadiers. Again, floating a lot of resources. Do not do that. I mean, there's still going to be some time for the Panzer. Even you can get a Panzer, but again, you know, how about, you know, again, get some stormtroopers, get some Panzerschrecks, and now he's going for additional machine gun emplacements. I mean, and this, again, I'll try not to pause too much, but I mean, in this case, you really ought to be thinking, well, my opponent has Knight's Cross, perhaps I should be expecting some armor. And in that case, should I be perhaps, you know, getting some more armor myself? And here's getting another Sherman, but more would be better. And again, Angelfrost needs to be a more aggressive. I mean, it's nice to see him laying down some defenses, and he He's sort of got the defensive aspect right, but he's definitely not aggressive enough with the Americans. And Hellcat rushing in. Oh, crushing some Volksgrenadiers perhaps? No. Deciding against it. Still no doctrine for Wjsreb. Volksgrenadiers here need to retreat. Knights crossing Volksgrenadiers moving up on the western flank. Sherman there has to be careful. And they're already suffering under the high explosive shell and the 50 caliber of the Sherman. Oh dear, just get out of there, man. Get out of there. Rückzug. There we go, Knights Cross are retreating. Oh dear. And he's just lost the Knights Cross squad. Again, poor tactical execution by Wjsreb. I mean, the aggression is nice. Again, it's not the sort of usual in that sense. Novice mistakes, maybe he's just going defensive, but he's still making some pretty grim mistakes. He's just charging in troops and he's losing them by the buckets. I mean, he's just lost 3 infantry squads. And just because he marches into, points without, fully understanding what's in there. I mean, absolutely horrid unit preservation. Now we are seeing a Panzer IV. Now we are seeing stormtroopers getting in. Stormtrooper needs equipment with the Panzergrenadiers to help with the armor, which is good. But again, terrible unit preservation. Terrible. And Pioneers need to retreat again. Retreat. Press T or press the retreat button, but do not lose troops like that. Wjsreb is way too slow in actually retreating his troops, and that is not good. Of course, again, soon call in another stormtrooper squad, which would not be a bad idea. He needs more infantry on the ground. No, he's calling in a Stu-42 Sturmhaubitze, but he's not even bothering with veterancy for either as well. I mean, we can sort of see what he wanted to do, and it's nice, but I mean, it was just not fully thought out. Lots of things which could have been done better. Observation posts, some veterancy before all of this came out. And again, unit preservation needs to be better, much better. But at least now he has a small armored Kampfgruppe with a bit of infantry, lots of anti-tank assets and some other bits. So of course the question is, how will this work out? Stu-42 leading the way. Opening up on the engineers, Panzer IV stormtroopers moving in against... No! Target this... It's a Stu-42, it's not a tank destroyer. Oh, you clockwinder. Sherman, though, is suffering heavily. Another Knights Cross squad on the way. Hellcat nearby. Sherman exposing the rear. Turn it around, Angelfrost. Turn it around. Another Hellcat far, far away. Hellcat suffering a bit. Come on, unleash the Panzerschreck. Sturm. Come on, fire away! Way too slow, and get those Pioneers repairing the Panzer IV! The Panzer IV, not the Stu-42, the Panzer IV! You dumb cuff! And don't move the Panzer IV against the Hellcat! The Hellcat will knock it out! Again, unit preservation, knowing when to fight and knowing when to retreat! And just, general tactics. I mean, the Wehrmacht player right here definitely is not strong at that. He's got the right spirit, but he's not got the right understanding of the game otherwise to really follow it up. I mean, he's constantly losing units he could easily have saved. And that again is not good. Now he's trusting the Pioneers ahead instead of, salvaging his armor for munitions. Knights Cross moving in against the Riflemen. Assault Rifles going to make short work of those Riflemen. And again, I mean, now, of course, Wjsreb has rather stalled. Stu-42 hits a mine. Pioneers will need to repair that. Knights Cross on their own amongst a lot of Riflemen. Has to be careful. Could easily gun down. And there we go. One dead. Need to repair that Stu-42. Come on. Priorities. Priorities. Assault against the Riflemen, but of course they quickly get out, in which case it gets annulled. I mean, in that sense, assault grenades is rather easy to actually get about. But the Knights, of course, need to get out of there, down to one man again, retreating finally. An additional Stormtrooper squad has arrived, getting assault rifles. And again, get those folks going to take the point, or Stormtroopers have the Pioneers repair. Again, rather seems like he doesn't know how to prioritize, what matters most. Some things are better at doing some things than other units.
Yeah, ready.
But again, a lot of mistakes in terms of unit preservation and know when to engage a unit. I mean, he should have pulled that back. That Panzergrenadier repaired it, and he's just using units ad nauseam. He in fact needs to retreat there, and that is good. He actually does it for once. Stormtroopers need to advance. Angelfrost is taking back most of the map, which is not good for the Wehrmacht, for the 17th SS, who are receiving a bit of support from the 2nd Panzer Division. Lots of mines, in fact. A ton of mines for Angelfrost. That's nice to see. Very nice. Needs to move out again. You know, you're done there. Get moving, get moving. It looks like Rangers have arrived for Angelfrost. Of course, he's got infantry. Knights, of course, moving back up, taking points. In fact, he's trained more, no? Or did he lose the others? He just trained some new. Oh, dear. There we go. Another Panzer IV on the way. Again, no attempt to even, you know, ping fuel points, but that's a bit too late. I think Rangers under fire from the Sturmhaubitze. One dead. Where is the infantry support? There we go. Rangers trying to move up and flank the Stu 42. That's nice. But now the Volksguns and Pioneers are arriving. Stormtroopers also moving up. Pioneers repairing, and there we go. Retreating the Rangers in time. Good to see. Shermans could be moving in. Knights cross over here. Stormtroopers with another Panzer could move over here, and that Panzer IV also needs to be up there, and also get some veterancy 1 as soon as possible for that armor. Decreases damage, taking back quite a bit. Nice hit on the Sherman. Down to close to half health already. Volksgunners should not be sent in. Not sent in against the Sherman, man. What are you doing? Oh no. And now charging right into the flamethrower, and the Sherman, he's Volksgunners squad down. Just retreat, retreat. Get out of there. Don't sit. Cover, man. All buildings, not out in the open. Get them out of there. Get them. Oh, dear. I mean, again, his tactics are atrocious. The strategy is half sound. I mean, that's good. But the tactics, the way he does things, is appalling. I mean, it's close to Soviet style. Except, of course, he can't afford the losses at all. And there we go, Stormtrooper squad, and one Panzerschreck, already both Panzerschrecks. What are you doing, man? And get out of there with that Panzer IV. Again, no veterans here. Now we can see a rifle squad with 2 Panzerschrecks. And veterancy too. Get out of there, you Doomkopf. You miserable excuse for the Panzer Commander. Knights Cross and Stormtroopers moving up here. Mines very close to being hit. And apparently the Stu 42 has knocked out some armor eventually at some stage. Needs repairs though. And they need some Panzerix to support them against that Hellcat. And again, veterancy. Veterancy for the armor so it takes less damage. Shermans are rolling in. They need to retreat. And the Stu 42 actually managed to knock out a Hellcat, which is good. Sherman needs to get out there. No idea why he's rushing in. Sherman's against troops with Panzerix with so low health. But he got that close. But again, he also needs to retreat his own infantry. Destroyed engine. Just get out of there. Please. Please, you klutz. Get them out of there. Retreat. I mean, this is just, you know, tragic handling of armor and infantry on both sides. And again, moving in a damaged Sherman to deal with the Stu. Another Sherman went down right there. Possibly to a Panzerfaust. Yes, indeed. Get them back. They're heavily wounded. Retreat. Reinforce. Then send them in. I mean, yes, they will be off for the field in the time. But again, if you lose a full squad, that's even longer time until you get a new squad. And of course, even larger manpower costs. Again, that is why preservation matters. Resources and time. And again, Wjsreb or whatever just doesn't seem to get it. He's constantly losing precious units again and again. And he's still not bothered. The veterancy for the armor, which again is vital, decreases damage by 15%. It makes a difference. Rangers not advancing on the Stu 42. Shots can't quite penetrate. Still no veterancy, so again, he's even just wasted manpower on the Kampfkraft Center itself. But of course, Angelfrost himself is not without, fault. And again, he should have been more aggressive earlier on. And again, also, dear oh dear, who shall win this? Now the Stu 42 actually turns away and gets knocked out, gaining veterancy 3 for that Sherman. Now, of course, Angelfrost needs to repair his armor. But certainly a bit of a graveyard here. And Novice feel. Get them out of there! Do not move them up to the enemy, you complete and absolute miserable clockwinder, you fool! I mean, this is just absolutely atrocious. Again, he's not even bothering to preserve his units. I mean, they should never even have been at the front line in the first place. The only reason they're not dead is complete and sheer luck. Additional stormtroops, those are asking up to 3 squads now of Stasstruppen. The Volkskriegs have been spent more or less. So let's see how this actually works out. Securing points for Angelfrost, that is good. Sherman getting repaired, that is also good. Medic station up, could be a bit earlier, but also BARs, good, good. Troops reinforcing.
And that's the ball game. Construction finished.
More armor on the way.
Has the objective.
Let's just speed this up because nothing's really happening.
At the point.
Enemy unit
Mines down, and a pioneer squad lost to a mine. No attempted minesweepers either, which is not good either. He should have known, Angelfrost uses mines, and again, thus get minesweepers. And now he's going to blob his way into a mine. 9, you Doomkopf! I mean, again, nice aggression, sort of half nice strategy. I mean, again, he's not trying the usual stuff with a lot of novices do, so in that sense, he's actually a bit, doing something right. But, I mean, his unit preservation is just awful. And his tactics, again, don't really make much sense either. He's just, sort of blobbing, not caring about casualties, and he's just, for every unit he probably kills, he's losing 2 himself. I mean, he's grinding himself down needlessly. He's not using cover either. I mean, that's also a bad thing. You want to use cover. Still no veterancy. Moving up on the west, though, by Angelfrost. That is good. Harassing the opponent elsewhere while he's moving up in another half of the map. Weapon support center now. Still no veterancy on the way. Let's just speed this up while Mr. Angelfrost gathers up for a counter-attack. Troops just standing about a bit, not good. And finally he's using his Kampfkraft Center. I mean, that's almost 20 minutes after he built it. He's finally bloody well using it. Atrocious. Getting veterancy for the infantry, about time. Now just needs something for the armor. Which he might be getting. Rifle here getting attacked by the Knight's Cross, the Ritterkreuz. Assault rifles breaking the silence.
Front lines are collapsing.
And veterans 1S1 is immediately in fact dropped. Less good for the 17th, although they also get 1 rifle in return. Knight Stormtroopers moving in. Hits a mine, of course, because again he's not bothering clearing up mines. And the Knight's Cross were actually able to win the rifle because he was constantly running away, which rather meant they couldn't fire back, meaning of course the low health Knight's Cross had all the advantage. Again, they weren't suffering for their low health or low numbers. Again, actually that sort of thing actually also matters, again, sometimes you just have to stand your ground. If you're just going to be running away, just retreat, otherwise you're going to be losing troops needlessly. Stormtroopers low health, why have they not been retreated? Again, get them out of there, get them out of there. And they have been equipped with dual assault rifles. That's just munitions out the window. Again, unit preservation. Also knowing when to retreat and knowing when to fight. And clearly those are distinctions completely alien to this commander's mind. And he's going to be losing another Stormtrooper squad, isn't he? Oh dear. And another Panzergrenadier left behind his opponent. Panzer IV is doing a bit of killing, but again, he's just losing too much in the process. And he's just lost 2 Stormtrooper squads and a Panzer IV again. Awful, god awful unit preservation. Please, dear viewers, promise me never to fight like this again. Know when to retreat, know when to pull out of there. I mean, this is just wasteful beyond belief. Absolutely atrocious.
Victory point. We are losing a victory point.
Nightcraw's going to need to get out of there. But you know, he keeps on attacking. He's not bothering, you know, trying to stall his opponent with bunkers or MGs. But at the same time, the losses he's, you know, suffering at rather is hurting him. I mean, he's his own greatest enemy. It's not Angelfrost. It's just his own terrible unit preservation. The mistakes he keep on repeating. It's his own foil.
Our forces are taking casualties.
30 caliber up. Lots of veterans free units. I mean, a veterans free Sherman, which gains 25% damage bonus at veterans free. But of course, also veterans free rifleman with dual Panzergrenadiers. This is really how bad the Wehrmacht player has messed up. His opponent has a veterans free rifleman squad with 2 Panzergrenadiers. I mean, they gain a 50% damage bonus. I mean, those riflemen will tear through anything, be it armor or man. They will destroy it. And these stormtroopers need to retreat again. Why are they out in the open? Just retreat them. They are suppressed. Rückzug. Stellungswechseln. Just get the bloody hell out of there. And returning back to him again. Down to 2 units. Again, the unit preservation is absolutely hampering him and not doing him any favors. And let's just wait until he gets that Tiger in, because that's going to be what saves him from the Sherman there. And there we go. Schwerer Panzer has arrived. Achtung, Achtung. Little Yankee tank. Sherman being run off, strangely enough. But again, be careful with the veterancy free riflemen again. 2 Panzergrenadiers, veterancy free. Kill them first and get those Nightcrawls back. Sticky bomb for Sherman down, but oh dear. Again, why is he not retreating them, reinforcing them? I mean, if he's watching this, he really ought to be ashamed over his unit preservation. This is not good, not commendable. Aggression, yes. Strategy, sort of, but unit preservation and tactics are just not good at all. I mean, he's practically throwing away this game, because otherwise, I mean, Angelfrost is, you know, being a bit too passive, and he's not certainly getting the full out of his own units. I mean, if Angelfrost had the aggression of Wjsreb, but it's still, you know, better unit preservation, he probably could have won this game much earlier on.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Stormtroopers coming under fire from the Hellcats. Stormtroopers retreating in time at least. Oh, nasty hit right here. 5 units down, some engineers and riflemen. Another rifleman squad down. No, that's an engineer squad, needs to be dealt with. Again, Night Squads have not been reinforced. Why, oh why must you taunt me like this? Or at least torture me. At least repairing the Tiger, that's a small blessing. But again, I mean, we're coming here too again. You're probably going to need a Panzer Commander to actually call them in that way. So I mean, that's definitely going to make some differences in terms of balance. But of course also the other aspect is, which rather, you know, the whole, if I'm actually guessing correct on doctrines, is besides, you know, having to choose before the battle again, they can actually dictate some units. I mean, essentially it would be like, you know, if Mr. Angelfrost had gone infantry, and of course it could only train rangers instead of riflemen. We're rather talking things like that. I mean, the reason I'm basing this is on 2 previews. One where the player actually doesn't have access to conscripts, but another he's instead has access to elite infantry. But again, the others talk about conscripts, his doesn't. And there's also some other minor differences, so again, that's rather why I'm suspecting it. It's a bit hard to explain here, but I mean, I am somewhat confident I've actually figured out the doctrines. And it could rather mean, you know, again, Doctrines in Company of 2 will be very different and probably a lot more exciting. Lots of mines for Angelfrost, at least he's doing well with that. But again, another example again from the other previews again. One has access to KV-1s, another has Su-85s. But again, it's rather the distinction with, you know, he doesn't have conscripts, but instead he has access to doctrinal infantry. But again, no conscripts. So again, I'm rather suspecting in there. Oh, nice hit right there in front of the building. Has to be careful with that. Panzergrenadiers. Oh, having trouble penetrating the frontal armor. Tiger fires away. Stormtroopers forcing away the engineers. Pioneers need to retreat and getting up right in front of the house. Oh my goodness! Tiger just is a beast murdering riflemen. And they need to get out of there, but note the Panzergrenadiers are just doing terrible damage to the Tiger. Now we're using artillery. A rifleman squad could be going down. In fact, it has gone down. The Tiger has ended 2 squads, a Ranger squad and a Rifleman squad. The veterancy 3 riflemen died. Hellcat, though, gets the job done. No, that was actually artillery, never mind then. Another Tiger arriving. But again, stuffing 2 units like that in front of a Tiger, not necessarily the best idea. And again, you know, just randomly getting that right in the front door, not good either. That was just, you know, not really good handling. Tiger, though, quickly getting surrounded by Hellcats. Stormtroopers running up with the seized Panzergrenadiers Americans. And if only he had Blitzkrieg, he could increase the rate of fire of his Tiger. And he'll probably see his way out of this. Tiger advancing, suffering a bit. Again, too close to the rifleman again. Tactics, tactics, tactics. Stay away from infantry with sticky bombs. Suppressive fire against the Stormtroopers, clearing up their support. Good. Tiger, though, continues. Not good. Base getting cleared out by Hellcats. Less good as well. Main gun destroyed. Rifleman not moving in to deal with that Tiger. Can sticky bomb it. Stormtroopers either need to get into a building or away, at least not right up close to the Hellcats. And there go that other Hellcat. Panzer Command is down. Stormtroopers getting suppressed by the 50 caliber fire. Not looking good, and in fact down to just a Tiger. And that Knight's Cross standing out in the middle of nowhere. Again, only 1 man and not retreated, not reinforced. Again, the way he treats his infantry is just disastrous. And he's pretty much just throwing away the game. Wasting it. I mean, this is the sort of stuff that's going to see him, you know, demoted and sent to a peen little unit on the front line in the worst spot on the Eastern Front. If not, just shot. Hellcat suffering a bit, but again, at least, you know, Angelfrost is doing generally much better. The unit preservation is better, while he's definitely not, you know, handling the strategy well. He is still surviving, because again, Wjsreb is just throwing away units, which only works to the advantage of Angelfrost. Panzergrenadiers ready, no Shermans anymore. An anti-tank, and they're getting ready all of a sudden. And there we go, Hellcat gone. And the base of the Wehrmacht also soon going very gone. Just speeding this up a bit. Down to 1 unit once more. With 1 Panzergrenadier, which is getting away. Rifleman streaming in. Stormtroopers caught out in the open. Bundle grenade only killing 1. Retreat, retreat. And he's probably going for another Tiger tank. Which rather sort of indicates he's completely lost all sort of, you know, ambition, of course, all chance of winning, because again he's just going to spam out Tiger tanks, and again that's only 1 unit which will get picked apart on its own and then destroyed. I mean, again, tactically Wjsreb is not strong. Strategically and sort of in terms of, you know, aggressive spirit, he has a chance of getting better, but he needs to work on his tactics. He needs to work on his unit preservation. I mean, it is just god awful. And until he actually sorts it out, he's not going to, you know, progress or get better. And this is really bad.
One of our sectors has been cut off. Americans are seizing territory from us.
Rifleman suffering right heavily there. Sticky bomb on the Tiger. Doesn't disable it. Quite lucky in that sense. Grenadier moving in. Not sure why. Possibly an off-map combat group, I hope so. But I mean, the amount of units that Angelfrost has in comparison to Wjsreb is, you know, overwhelming. Let's return to Angelfrost again. I mean, note all the units. I mean, this is just terrible. In fact, let's just stop here, because again, this is not going to go better. He's just going to be fumbling about at this stage. So I mean, what are the lessons? I mean, again, nice aggression. I mean, essentially in the start he actually looked alright. He wasn't trying this sort of usual novice stuff and, you know, just blocking out his opponent with MGs. He was trying to be aggressive. But again, the flaw was then he didn't, you know, push aggressively enough with the first hit. He needed more than 3 Volksgrenadiers, perhaps 4, perhaps a sniper or an MG, something a bit more. And he should have used that Kampfkraft, and then finally he should have built an observation post to really, you know, get the most out of it. That was his rather his larger flaws. He had the plan, but he wasn't supporting it good enough, which rather meant it only came across, you know, halfway, which gave his opponent time to react with a tank destroyer. But of course, at the same time, if Angelfrost had been more aggressive with it, just a few more rifle squads or BAR, he could have locked down his opponent, and it's showing he could never reach the Panzer command. I mean, things like that again matter. Aggression, the American commander was way too passive for a longer part of the game. Nice mining though, and again his unit preservation and then though was much better. And again, that was really where things fell apart for the Wehrmacht commander. He threw away units like they were water. I mean, really, that was terrible. No cover, no retreating in time. He lost tons of resources. He handed his opponent 3 Panzergrenadiers. That is not good at all. I mean, really. Absolutely terrible stuff in the tactical and unit preservation department. But again, he can improve. He has that sliver of promise, because again, he didn't just go for the sort of thing other novices go for. He was actually trying to be aggressive, but by Jove, the execution is god awful. But there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe? And of course, I really hope you learned something from it. So there you go. And of course, cheers.